Hey guys, welcome to NFT Hype. We got some special guests here, Nate and Patrick, joining Mike and I, Big Mike and I. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
From
Welcome to be here.
from Aloha EOS, and now you guys are producing on the Wax Network, right?
Yeah, we have been for quite a while. Yep.
Awesome. Well, good to have you here. And one of your
Thanks.
pet projects or main projects, let's say, is TokenHead, right?
Yeah. With as much time as we've put into it lately, I'd say it's a main project. Yeah.
Okay. What do you know about TokenHead, Mike?
It's this amazing app I have on my phone, and it tells me what all my NFTs are worth.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool. I really like it a lot. These guys have put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. What's the vision for it, Nate and Patrick? Like, what do you guys see it as and where it's going?
Yeah. I mean, just as good of a collector's tool as we could make it. I mean, that's kind of our target demographic we're going for, is to just make it really easy to showcase all these cool NFTs we're getting on Wax and track them and track the value of them, and maybe eventually we'll get into some more marketplace type stuff. Try and make that a little easier, but yeah, that's the goal with it.
Okay.
Just a good collector tool.
All right. Now I did notice one thing on there, and I hope you don't mind if I bring it up, but I was looking for mints on there.
Yes. Yeah, mints. Yeah, I know that's been a hot topic lately, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a tricky one to do behind the scenes. I mean, just and it's something that was in progress, and we actually pushed it out just so we could get the launch, get it out there. But yeah, it's in progress. We should have it out within probably a week or two.
Okay.
But yeah, it's part of it is we've got our own system. We're trying to only depend on our own data and things like that, and so we have to figure out exactly how everybody has handled the mints, when things get burned, and then across the different asset standards and things like that, just making sure it all works well. And I don't know, actually that's an interesting topic, like when an asset gets burned, what would you guys like to see happen with the mint numbers? Because that's something that is a little different depending on where you look right now.
I don't know. That might comment
I
on
would
that
say,
one.
personally, like I would say leave it as it is, and then just delete that mint number. Like that card doesn't exist anymore. Like, don't shift everything to like accommodate the burn, basically.
Okay, well, let's say that you had a mint number one and you burned it for some dumb reason. Then there would be no mint number one ever again.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel
That's
about
the
that.
big question. Yeah, that's the big question.
And I know, I don't know if it's still the case, but I know previously, depending on the site you looked at, some of them did shift it and some of them left it and basically just removed that mint number. So yeah, that's one of the questions we're trying to really answer.
Okay, Nate. So just as long as I don't open up TokenHead and then my mint number one goes to mint number 5, you're okay. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely don't want to see that either.
Yeah, that should be doable.
Another thing that I've noticed is, which is, I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, it's kind of like, this doesn't really work very well, is the mint pricing for outliers, right? So say, for example, like I have number 2 Crackjack original arts from OS2, and the number 1 sold for like 12,000 wax or something ridiculous. So you guys have my number 2 priced at that same price, which, I mean, as much as I'd love to get that price, I kind of don't think I would. So how do you guys plan to address that issue?
Well, it shouldn't be priced exactly at that price because the way we're doing it is we take the average of the last 5 sales. So
Yeah, so it's the only sale ever of that card.
oh,
basically.
okay. Yeah, that is a tricky one for sure. Because mint numbers really skew the pricing. I was looking at one the other day, which somebody pointed out, and saw that the mint number 1 sold for 64 times more than the average of that card. So yeah, that's a tricky one to deal with. I mean, I think what we're doing now works pretty well, but there's definitely some corner cases where it's not perfect. And we're looking at ways we can improve that over time too, and it'll get easier as we get more data as well. So like you said, that one has only been sold once.
Totally.
As we get more data and more sales, it gets easier to do some kind of differentiator where you take into account mint numbers a little bit more. But yeah, for now, that's kind of what we're doing is just the average of the last 5 sales. We're looking at maybe switching that to median instead of an average, so that when you have a number 1 that gets sold, it doesn't skew things so much for the rest of the cards in the series. But
it's the same for kind of like series 1 base cards too, right? Because like basically all like the whole top 10 got sold for like a pretty juicy multiple. So now you're looking at like 200-300 wax for most OS1 base cards as your average price, right? And that obviously doesn't work when they're priced at like between 49 and 60 wax currently.
So
yeah.
So what would be solving that problem? What does it help the user? How does it help the user? Does it help the user price, Mike? Or does it help them sell their card? Or is it just something to get an idea of their value?
I think it helps them price. I think it helps them understand what the value of their cards is. I think it helps the market get a better idea of what that card should be worth. So I think it's really important that we come up with some kind of metric where you can take an average or a median or something and figure out some kind of reasonable value, right?
Yeah. Well, again, like we had on our last call there, Mike, like, for example, the number 8 or the number 13 could hold a special value for a certain card, right? Like, or the number 69 or 66 or 99.
Or 40.
Or 40, right? It all depends.
Yeah.
So maybe what is out, the solution is just to report the multiple that a certain mint has on a particular character. Like, hey, this atom bomb, all number 1s go for 25 times.
Yeah, but does it always stay at 25 times? I mean,
no.
Yeah,
but that could be a good. Yeah, it's definitely tricky. More data, I think, if you separate it out, like use individual average sales for those first early mints, and then maybe, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of genie in the bottle type shit you guys are gonna have to figure out, but there's got to be some kind of solution there.
It's like your, I was gonna say, this is like your worst nightmare there, Nate. You have 2 collectors, like
exactly.
I mean, I'll just throw out that it's never going to be perfect. I mean, we'll continue to improve it, but you'll never be able to guess what the market thinks a card is worth perfectly. So
one of the goals was to make it, at least give somebody an idea of what their whole collection is worth, the overview. I think that's pretty useful, even if it's not exact. I mean, I think for a while people had no idea what their collection might be worth, and unless they were going and tracking each thing individually and trying to add it up themselves, so one of our goals is to try and reduce that pain point, make it real convenient, even if it's not exact, I think people still appreciate having, you know, an idea really quickly,
Yeah,
you know.
no, I do for sure. It's awesome just to be able to open the app and just go, okay, cool. Like that's what they're worth today. So yeah, it's fun.
Just reverse things a little bit because I know we probably got right into it. Nate and Patrick, do you mind just giving us a little background on yourselves and also kind of like where you're coming from and your experience and stuff in the space?
Sure. Go ahead, Nate. You can start.
Yeah. How far back we going here?
All the way.
Maybe EOS, like EOS Genesis
Yeah.
or something like that, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we started Aloha as a block producer on EOS. Yeah, so we started it in early 2018. EOS launched kind of mid 2018, and yeah, we've been around the EOS and EOS.io space since it began. We're very familiar with the software and building projects on it and things like that, and we've expanded to obviously other chains since then. I think at one point we were on something like 10 chains. We've pulled back a little bit since then, just because it was so much work and trying to keep up with everything, and tried to focus a little bit more on building some other projects like TokenHead on chains like Wax. So yeah, we've been around. I mean, my history before that is I've always just been in the tech world since pretty much the .com boom in some capacity or another, doing programming or system administration, or I'm an entrepreneur. I've started a lot of businesses. I've been in Bitcoin since like 2010. So I've been around this space for quite a while, and I just love watching it and watching how fast it moves, and it's just exciting stuff. So
Now, are you guys based in Hawaii, or is just like, are you based in like Detroit and really wish that you were in Hawaii, or?
yeah, it's a little bit more of the latter. We're spread out. I'm in Idaho.
Okay.
Patrick's in Indiana, and we have another team member in Washington. I used to live in Hawaii.
Okay.
When we started on, when we kind of announced on EOS, and you're very familiar with that, how that went. There were already like 5 block producers in the US, and we were trying to look for a way to differentiate ourselves a little bit. And I used to live there, and so I knew it well. And, you know, flying to Hawaii to install servers isn't a bad deal. So,
Nice.
yeah, we have a lot of infrastructure there. We also have infrastructure kind of all over in Europe and other parts of the US as well. But yeah, we kind of went down that path as a differentiator.
That's cool. The branding is on point. I actually have one of your T-shirts, and they're one of the nicer ones from a texture point of view. And I also remember your voting proxy website, which was pretty hot back in the day. I don't know if it still gets used.
And the benchmark tools as well.
Yeah. So before TokenHead, we kind of always focused on sort of network tools and ways to increase network performance and kind of give data on block producers and guilds and for voters. So yeah, we have a lot of tools. They're still around. They're still humming.
Cool.
Yeah, they
And
still
Patrick,
get quite a
yourself?
bit of traffic too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I've been working. I'll try not to repeat too much of what Nate already covered. I've been in the IT sector, technology space, working for about 27 years. Blockchain, around I guess 2000, early mid 2017. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to Nate when he kept trying to talk to me about Bitcoin back in 2010 and 11. So I've been kicking myself since 2017 for not having listened to him more closely. Let's see, I've known Nate and our other partner for almost 30 years now. Obviously working, doing a lot of the same stuff with Nate for Aloha and TokenHead. One thing I was going to mention when he was talking about the Hawaii location, if you remember in 2018, everybody kept looking at those maps that was showing where the block producers were. And, there was nothing in that location. And it seemed also like a good bridge to from the east and the west, from a networking perspective. And, so that also, that big, nothing being on the map in that area, was one of the things that kind of led us to explore the whole Hawaii location for us.
Yeah, great idea. It needs to be geographically distributed as well too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so many chats about BPs and governance and what made a quality BP, having flashbacks right now. So anyways, back to TokenHead. So you guys want to have a marketplace in that eventually, or you want to strictly keep it a collector's tool or data collection? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I would like to see it eventually. I think it would be really handy just to be able to buy and sell within the app. But we get a little bit restricted on what we can do with the App Store and the Google Play guidelines, as far as mostly the App Store when it comes to that one. Because they're not big on cryptocurrency and buying and selling things with crypto within apps. So, but we think there's probably some things we can do to get around that if we're not actually holding the keys, for example. And so, we're talking about maybe you link your account with your keys in Anchor on your mobile phone, and then every time you need to do a transaction, it just flips out to Anchor and you sign it there, and then it flips back. Something like that, I think, would be really cool. And probably keep us within the guidelines, but we need to dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. For the list and buy stuff within the app for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be real popular and heavily used if we can get that stuff in.
And what kind of users do you have right now? Are they mostly Wax people, or are they people from outside? Do you have any data on the type of users do you have? And how are they different from, like, let's say, somebody who goes to Waxplorer, for example?
Yeah, that's hard to say because we don't have, the best way we can get some of that info is probably Telegram and our community that are giving us feedback there. I mean, we don't collect any like analytical data within the app. We do know that they're probably Wax users because that's the only account type we support right now. But honestly, a lot of the users have come from these NFT collections on Wax that have brought them, like Crypto Monkeys, for example. They brought us so many users that we were totally surprised about. And they were showing a tweet the other day that they have actually brought like 50% of their users from other chains. Like they previously didn't have a Wax account. So seeing stuff like that is really awesome, and we like supporting projects like that. But as far as where ours are coming from, it's hard to tell right now.
Yeah.
The one thing we know is the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, which is so encouraging and motivating. Seeing how much people seem to like it. We definitely have gotten some requests to, like, if we will ever support Ethereum, for example. But right now we're certainly just focused on Wax. But we haven't closed the door on any of those ideas.
Okay. Speaking of that, are you able to give any roadmap of features coming up, or want to demo anything right now? It's we'll leave that up to you guys.
We could definitely demo the app. Just kind of show people where it's at today. As far as features coming up, the big ones are mint numbers. We're planning to do a browse feature, so you can just browse all collections no matter what you own. Every collection that we support anyway.
Does that show what you have and what you don't have?
Yeah, so that's supported now.
Okay.
And I could show that.
Yeah, we'll show that.
Who should I share the screen with, Nate or Patrick?
Yeah,
Nate.
I'll share.
We also just, while you're pulling that up, we just fixed a couple bugs for those that are listening that experienced these. You know, some of the animations were sort of clunky or broken. We fixed that. So if you notice that, obviously let us know, because it should be fixed now. And then there was briefly there was an issue with sharing, and that's fixed as well.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, so we launched something like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, and then our first focus was adding more collections, and we added last week we announced adding about 9 or 10 new collections, and then we've just been kind of iterating and fixing bugs before focusing on the next big feature.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is the first screen you'll see when you install the app, if you don't have any accounts added yet. And so you can just add any Wax account name here.
It doesn't have to be yours, right?
Correct. Any account.
Okay.
Yeah, all we need is the public account name. So you could add your account, you could add a friend's account, you know, it doesn't matter. Add a few that I can think of off the top of my head. And then, yeah, so this main screen will give you kind of a summary of the value, estimated value of all of your accounts. And this includes any Wax in the accounts, as well as the estimated value of the NFTs. And currently that supports any simple assets, NFT collections that we support, as well as any atomic asset collections we support. We don't support all of them, but we're slowly adding more. A big part of what we can and can't support depends on, like I said, the App Store and Google Play guidelines and kind of what fits within that. So we can't do like not safe for work stuff, like I forgot the name of EOS Nation's collection that launched
Fan
recently.
City Outbreak.
Yeah, that had a bunch of realistic violence type stuff. That kind of stuff we can't show. It would probably get our app pulled.
Mm-hmm. So is there like a flag where you don't bring in those NFTs?
Well, we have to review the collection, so we have this form we created, you know, that asks some questions, and obviously before we add it, we go and we review the collection to see and look at all the images to make sure nothing would get us banned. So, you know, that's unfortunately one of the things we have to deal with that some of the website explorers don't have to deal with.
Fair enough.
Right. So yeah, tap into your account, and then you get kind of an overview of assets in your account. So the top one, pinned to the top, is always your Wax. So you're available, you're staked, you're refunding. If you have a Genesis account, your rewards that are built up there. And then below that, kind of sorted in highest value to lowest value, are just the different collections and your assets within those. And then you can go into those and browse them. And
you guys gonna add fungible tokens, Nate, like packs mainly?
Yes, that's another big one that we want to add soon. Probably shortly after mints, we'll add support for that. So, you know, currently if the pack is on atomic assets, we support it. But if it's a fungible token, we don't yet, but would love to add that.
Nice.
Yeah, once you come in here, you can, there's some pretty detailed filtering you can do. You can
Nice.
change to just series 2, or you can change the sort time, you know, the previous or the most recent ones you've got, or different rarities, things like that. And that's another reason we kind of take our time to add each collection is we really dig into all the different rarities and types and attributes that each collection might have, so that we can support all the filtering for it.
Mhm.
Cool.
Show the missing one.
Oh yeah, so I'll show World of Botanica. I've been collecting this one recently. I like these guys. So if you come into filters and you can do show missing mixed.
This is one of my favorites.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that'll show
Cool.
you know, a darkened one if you don't have it, and then obviously the light one if you do have it.
Nice.
So you can easily see that. You can also do show missing only, and so this is just the stuff that I'm missing.
Oh, that's stuff that you're missing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
now I need
what
to be
is
able to
that,
click that and go to that item and buy it.
Right, a big buy button right here. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
and the amount was the lowest value, the lowest price of what's available on the market.
No, so it's average of the last 5 sales. So that one's these ones are all the same, because this one probably only has one sale. But you can kind of come down to this value section and see this is the one we mostly use, is the average of the last 5. Then you'll be able to see the last. This will probably be better if I go to like GPK. Ask Nick. So price average last 5, 34.29 or 1100 wax, and then the last one, and then the lowest it's ever sold and the highest it's ever sold. So yeah, that high right there is probably, you know, a mint 1 or
Yeah,
somewhere around that.
Yeah. So maybe like part of the price average 5 of the last 5, you can have the last 5 mints sold and just list the mint, and then the user could probably come up with their own justification on value, I guess, based on
that's
that.
an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an interesting idea. We could show something like that here. I'd like to add just a lot more details to this screen too, over time. Like, it'd be cool to see a price chart over time. It'd be cool to see more around mint numbers. Yeah.
Lowest listed would be a good one too.
Yeah. Yeah. Tie into the actively listed stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can see the backs. You can swipe to see those. You can get a full screen.
Nice.
If you tap it.
No, I've had a question that's kind of always been bothering me. If I go to the Topps GPK website and I view these cards, they have this cool 3D look to them. This app seems like something like I could totally whip out on my cell phone and show a friend or somebody and show them what I've been involved in and what I obsess over. Here's a picture of this card that I've been collecting. But I would like to see the cool 3D version of it. Is that how, like, why isn't that image used on other websites? Is it because it's proprietary, or is it because it takes up a lot of resources?
It's just not something that's part of the NFT. It's not an attribute or anything like that. That's just something that they've done on their site.
I gotcha.
But I totally agree. This is a perfect place to show that and be able to interact with it with your finger. And yeah, that's actually on our list because we've had a couple people suggest that. I forgot, it's like called a parallax effect or something.
Nice.
The one where it tilts?
Yeah, so you'll be able to, like, you know, move it around a little bit with your finger, or maybe it moves with your phone as you move your phone. But I agree. That would be really cool to do something like that, just to show a little more depth with it.
So you bring up a good point. On IPFS, it's just a flat image, but certain websites like Topps, they show something totally nicer, I guess you'd say.
It's just a way to manipulate the image, I guess, right, Nate? Basically.
Yeah, that's that's just something I don't know exactly what they're doing, but that's something that they're doing. It's not stored in the metadata of the asset. So yeah, they've got some sort of parallax effects that they're applying to it. But yeah, it'd be really cool to do something like that. I agree.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite collection, Nate?
My
Shatner.
favorite is probably GPK. Shatner. I got
Shatner's
really
on the
lucky.
high.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I got real. Patrick knows this, but I got really lucky with Shatner. I pulled 2 Goldens with
No
Shatner,
way.
Wow. No
and
way.
I've only opened maybe 10, 15 packs.
Well, I did the
Wow.
legwork. I'm still trying to convince Nate that I should. There's a finder's fee.
Yeah, I was actually on a road trip that day of the launch. And I was like, oh, get some packs for me. Just buy like $100 in packs. And so he did that, and later he gave me the packs, and I pulled a golden out of one of just the 5-card packs. And then what's funny, I held it for quite a while, a couple months, and then a buyer reached out to me and offered me a good amount of money, and also he's like, I'll throw in 5 more packs. I was like, oh, sweet, okay, I'll take it. And then from those 5 packs, I pulled another golden.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. So I went back to him and I'm like, you're not gonna believe this, but I just got another one. He's like, dude, I'll buy it from you. So we did the exact same deal. Got 5 more packs. I didn't get a golden the 3rd time, but it was just some crazy luck.
That's
Which golden did you get the first one? Was that a mint one?
No, it was like a 3, I think. It was the Tech Wars one the
nice
first
one.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the second time was the I think it was the 1960s headshot one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Camp days.
Yeah, so this was the first one, and then this was the second one.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love how the cards look on this interface. I really do.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, and it looks. I think it looks even better when you've got it in your hand and it can go full screen. Something I want to add here is pinch zoom, so you can actually zoom in and check out the details too.
Oh yeah.
But
Can you go landscape? I haven't actually done that yet. Like for a landscape image?
No, it wouldn't turn. It just stick like this.
Right.
I mean, you can just turn your phone, but it's not, the app's not going to rotate.
Yeah.
But that's something we could support.
I was looking at the back of the OS1 cars when you did them, and I was thinking it would be cool to be able to flip your phone and look at that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd be cool to do something with those puzzle pieces too. And
yeah, super cool, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's done that yet.
I was surprised that Tops didn't do something there. I forgot which. Are those just on the base?
They're on a bunch of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if somebody built a tool that kind of lets you form all those and see if you've got all the ones to create that big back.
Yeah, I think people would buy cards just to make that puzzle too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Maybe Tops has it on their list. Things to do.
Yeah.
Perhaps Tobin did send me a message recently and said they had some good things. So hopefully we'll hear from them again soon.
Nice. Okay. Well, this is awesome. I think anything that gets NFTs into the hands of people that they can show and share with their friends is awesome. Great. And I can't wait to see the new improvements, especially the buying stuff and what's missing, because I think Wax Explorer is great. I just haven't figured out how to use that properly. So this looks easy. And the UX is great.
Yeah, the UX on this one is definitely like top notch for sure. I love your NFTs too. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we've done a bunch of these at this point, and they're just kind of promotional, and we do random giveaways and Twitter giveaways and things like that to get them. I think each one, some of these came from the Nifty box. So yeah, it's just something for people to try and collect and check out the app. And
yeah, and I think
I like this one a lot.
I think you sent us some, so Mike and I will give those out to our community.
Cool.
Yes, since it's not listed, actually, we should be able to.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
You guys have this one.
Nice.
Max Appeal. So yeah, however you want to give those out, do some random drops or Twitter or whatever you want to do.
Cool.
There's been a pretty high demand for these, so it's been a lot of fun doing drops and watching them sell on the marketplace and things like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's something you said a bit ago, just to loop back for a second, is you said, it's an easy UI. One of the keys to adoption, obviously, is a smooth and easy experience. If things are clunky or slow or too difficult, it'll be adopted much slower. So, we're really hoping through ease of use and a nice smooth UI that, it'll really aid, with the NFT adoption.
Yeah, I see this as like I'm hanging out with my brother-in-law, and instead of having to bring up a website or a marketplace, I can just whip out the app and show them real quick.
And another idea we had too was, for parties or just, people nowadays have digital photo displays on their wall or sitting, in a hallway or something, and having a feature in the app to where it'll rotate through, all your favorites or something like that, all your favorite NFTs.
If it just hooks up to like Chromecast and you can just do like a screen share or something, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's on our list as well.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, this is exciting because I think collectors like Mike and I, we appreciate things like this. I'm going to start using it more and definitely showing it off to my family members and friends, because I think that's where we hit rubber hits the road, is when we start showing these things off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
yeah, for sure. Pretty much.
Sorry,
any plans for a decentralized version where you can show everything?
I mean, I potentially. We just need to figure out a good distribution method or something, or maybe there's like a way you activate it somehow, or I don't know. Yeah, there's potential.
That'd be cool. Very cool.
What do you mean, Mike? Like you can add any collection?
Yeah, because right now, because they're limited because of the stores, right? So it'd be cool if you could like maybe make it so that, if you add a little piece of code or if you get the right distribution or something, then you can add your own collections, and then they're not liable for that, right?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Nate.
It's possible.
Yeah,
I should say, I think it's possible. I mean, there could be something there. It's not our focus right now, but yeah, it definitely could be something there. If it's something where they're like, we prompt and say, this you're doing this part on your own, you agree here, and then do whatever you want, kind of thing. But maybe.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I don't see that request going away. I foresee, this is going to keep coming up.
Well, I know, for example, like crypto twerps, like pretty much we don't meet the guidelines, so we're probably not going to end up on TokenHead ever, unless you guys do a decentralized version. So
yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah. It's a tough one for sure.
Well, thanks for
we'll give it more thought.
Well, you're welcome for Mike and I giving you all these backlog items that you probably need.
Like,
Don't
hey,
worry,
can you do
we're-
this? And like, yeah, just let me just come up with a list of stuff, and then I'll just send
Yeah.
it to your email, and then you can just that's your project list from now on.
Yeah, we've got a big list right now.
I'm sure
we've
do.
had a lot of feature suggestions.
A lot of
They're all
great
great.
suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Where do we
And
find
bring-
out more about the app? Like, do you have a website for the app?
Yeah, tokenhead.io, and at the bottom of that too is a link to our Telegram. So if you want to give feedback or just come chat with us or whatever, you just chat about NFTs. Doesn't even have to be about TokenHead. Hop in there. But yeah,
sometimes we drop random giveaways in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've done quite a few in there. We've got more. Actually, I could announce now. We've got 3 more of those. We call them, like, the character in those NFTs. His name is Max. We are planning to drop. So we're planning to drop to the first 600 accounts that were added to the app, which at this point we're already over 1,000 or something. So
Nice.
you can't do anything now. Like, it's already set. But we're going to drop 3 of those Max NFTs on the first 600 accounts.
Cool.
So if you were in there, congratulations, you'll get one. We didn't want to announce that one before because you can add anyone's account and there's no key checking or anything. So we thought it would be gamed a little bit. So we just didn't
probably
say what we were going to do. And
yeah.
so if you're within that group, you'll get an NFT.
All right. Nice. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. It was like a real pleasure to talk with some longtime members of the space and just people who are pushing the boundaries on NFTs.
Thanks a lot for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
You're welcome,
thanks for
guys.
being here, and thanks for everything you guys do. We all appreciate all the work that you guys put into all the EOSIO communities that you're involved in.
Thanks. Our pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to hear. Thanks, guys. You guys are doing an awesome job promoting this too. So
Yeah.
It's
Thanks,
easy when we
appreciate
love
that.
the space. So
Yeah,
Yeah, that helps.
fun.
yeah.
all right. Peace out, guys.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Cheers.
Peace.